Hi, welcome to this video. Today we are going to be talking about emotions and what they actually are. So we believe that emotions are just based on everything that happens in our lifetime, in this lifetime, and all the emotions that we feel is based on the traumas, the triggers, the experiences that we have in our life, and this is why we experience emotion. But actually, emotions are based on not just your current life, but also your past lives, many lives, and your ancestral lineage. That's actually what emotions are. The emotions that you have brought with you in this life are based on the emotions, the triggers, the experiences, all the things that you have experienced in your past lives and also your ancestral lineage. This is what your emotions are actually made out of. It's not just what you are experiencing from this life. And sometimes what you might find in your life is that some of the things that you experience in your life, you may not even understand, but you know at some point you're feeling sad, you're feeling this sorrow, and it's a deep sorrow and you can't figure out why. Well, just remember, there are things that we cannot explain in this life because it comes from many past lives and through your ancestry line. And what's happening in this lifetime ultimately is that the patterns that you are experiencing in your life in this lifetime are basically repeated from many past lives, and it's also included in your ancestry line. So what you're experiencing in this lifetime can be quite similar in many past lives that you've lived. Okay, so this may not be in specific ways as in the same story being repeated, but it is the same pattern. For example, you may have experienced this pattern of disempowerment many times in many of your past lives, right? But this disempowerment will not be stated, will not be shown in the same story in every single lifetime, including this one. It will be shown in a way where it's the same pattern. So what I mean by that is, so let's for example, in a past lifetime, you might have been some kind of slave, maybe some kind of prostitute, right? In a past lifetime. Now, that pattern would be repeated in your other lifetimes, including this one. So in this lifetime, it will be the same pattern. So this time, instead of being a prostitute, you'll be experiencing the same pattern, but in a different way. So this time, maybe you are in a very disempowering situation, in a very disempowering relationship. And in this relationship, you are using your sexual desires, your sexual needs, your feminine energy, which has been skewed in this sexual kind of way of energy, and you are manipulating, your partner in this way. Well, it's not the same story, but it is the same pattern. And therefore, in this life, you are being asked from this hurt that you felt, from this disempowerment that you've experienced in a past lifetime, to clear that, to change the pattern. So rather than now, being this type of woman that kind of gets what she wants in a sexual way from your partner, you are now changing the pattern. You are changing your internal energy and therefore your behavior, and no more are you going to play that game. This time you are going to use your wisdom and become a woman, because for so long you have been stuck in this little girl kind of energy, right? This prostitute, this young slave that you were in a past life. So what I'm trying to say is that, again, your patterns, your experiences, the traumas, the same triggers, the same behaviors are being repeated, but it may not be, and it usually isn't necessarily the same exact story. The next time you find yourself in, feeling sad, feeling emotional, and all these feelings are coming up, and half the time you don't even understand what you're going through, just understand that your emotions and how you're feeling and what you've experienced in your life, it's not just from this lifetime, it's from many lifetimes in the past and your ancestral line as well. So you are basically being asked, and especially now more than ever, because of the energies that are going on, this transformation that's going on this earth, you are being asked to clear all this stuff. You are being asked as much as possible, as much as you can do, to clear these emotional, these patterns that you've been experiencing in many of your past lifetimes. But it is not just based on this lifetime that you've lived.